Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my journey again. I am here at Poolside here in Naples, Florida, and doing the work. Outer work, inner work. To me, at this point, the inner work is much more important. So I shared a video earlier about my experience in a class that I usually go to with altered elements, and it was a great experience last night. I can start to feel things bubble up a little bit. When you do this kind of work, it's kind of like, a pond. You know, it's a clear pond, but when you start stirring stuff up at the bottom, with a twig or a stick, all that sediment, all that stuff that was stuck down there starts coming to the surface, right? And this is the same way when we start to get into a deeper healing and connection with ourselves. So anyways, today, for me to continue my inner work, I'll do more breath work today. I already did the fitness part of it. So one of my favorite breath works for this type of work is called the connecting breath. Now, a lot of my students and clients already know this, but I still wanted to share this with you because, again, I want to share my journey in a few different ways. Not only share my experience, but also share what I'm doing, and also to give you some practices for you to use. And, this connecting breath, or the connective breath, depends on how you would like to call it, is a very powerful thing. The breath is connected to the nervous system, and it's split up in two halves. One is the parasympathetic, the other is the sympathetic. It's the rest and digest, and also it's balanced out on the other side is, fight or flight. And we want to balance those out. So by connecting those two together, right, in a nice loop, you'll feel better, right? It's going to balancing you out. So when you breathe in deep into your nose, you try not to pause, and you just connect that outer breath, the exhale. And when you become at the bottom of the exhale, try not to pause and bring it right back up to the inhale. Now that's going to take some work, but eventually you'll connect those two, and you'll connect the parasympathetic and the sympathetic that is connected to your nervous system, right? Anatomic nervous system. Very, very powerful. And again, a lot of times we become disconnected, disaligned. That's why I'm here. You get burnt out in your job. Stress is becoming a big thing. Some of us, struggle with anxiety and depression. I have never been clinically diagnosed with anxiety or any of that stuff. But, do I get stressed out? Absolutely. Do I over worry? Of course, don't we all? But I've been blessed to have the tools that I have been given so freely to me by practices and 12-step groups like AA, to recognize this stuff and know when to stop putting on the brakes. So before I came to this journey here in Naples, I was already much aware, because that's our first power, right? Our inner power is personal awareness. So I already knew that I was starting to get really burnt out and tired and really not feeling myself, right? Feeling out and disaligned, right? Disconnected. So then, of course, I came here and started to work on myself deeper. And again, to see what comes up. So I'm stirring up that pond and see what comes up from that murky bottom. And when it comes up, I'll get a chance to work with it. And, the other things too, people call things problems. I learned this from Tony Robbins. I call them challenges, right? I tend to want to work on the solution, not the problem. So I'm not here working on problems. I'm working on solutions, and to just have a better life, and just take a good, deeper look at myself. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, give me the likes, hit the comments, and I will see you soon on the next video. Take care.